G'day, Ethan, and thanks for joining us at bmxultra.com. We'd like to hear a lot about Calculated and your role there. So can you tell us a little bit about Calculated and what you do?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I would say calculator manufacturing started around back in 2016 when my dad was originally working with Turn 3 Racing. He opened up a manufacturing shop back then. He had a team calculated, and it was a race or a team for to help little kids train and whatnot to get in the next bigger brackets. And at the time, Michael von Sothen was designing for Turn 3 and was on Team Calculated. And Mike designed a stem. I'm not sure exactly which stem it was, but they designed it for Turn 3, and Turn 3 didn't want to produce it at all. So Mike and Casey came together and started to produce that stem, and a lot of people wanted it. And so they started von Sothen Racing. And so that slowly just led into the partnership of buying more machines and building a bigger manufacturing shop, and started Calculated Manufacturing and von Sothen Racing. Um, designed the Model 92 crank arms and the M4s now, and the front loads and the fat mouth stems. It's kind of, and then I would say I was in middle school. I want to say 2018, 2017, like almost right after the company started. And I just started out as any employee would, just slowly make my way up, running the machines and becoming a machinist, and currently managing all of manufacturing and production as of right now, while designing and camming parts on the side.
Um, so you have a race background and machining background. Have you ever been tempted to actually customize some stuff for yourself?
For myself, I have, but I never really jumped into it yet. I mean, I'm working on like some side projects. I got a really cheap mod, and I could sell for a good amount of money. And so I made a few special parts on that thing. But personally, on my bike, I haven't yet. I am working on a few projects currently, but definitely in the near future.
So Michael's no longer involved in Calculated, is he?
Currently, no. He had to back away due to his full time occupation at Google, and then now he's at a startup down south of California. But no, he's not currently designing or partnered with the company anymore.
So who does the design work now?
I would say Casey and me, a mix of me and Casey. We just started the new Calculated R series, which is Calculated Robinson R series, and it's the parts designed by me and Casey.
So the first R series product was the chain tensioner, and you sent a couple of those over for us to check out. They're a great mini chain tensioner, but what are you going to be doing for the bigger guys? Anything?
We definitely plan on making a pro series. I think we got a lot of requests on the mini to actually do a bigger bolt on the back for the chain tensioning. So we're definitely going to do that as soon as possible. And we've already been designing a pro series in the at the same time we're making the mini. So it's definitely coming soon.
When you go for a pro series, will there be a 10, 15, and 20 mil option?
Yes, yes, it will.
So what would be different with a chain tensioner to fit say a carbon frame? So you don't want to be putting a screw into the rear of the dropout on a carbon frame. Have you looked at any kind of design change for that setup?
Uh, we have not yet. A few of ours, or it's a bolt that has like a slider that connects to the bolt that some chain tensioners already currently have. So it'll be kind of like
Oh,
that.
okay.
So it won't be, yeah. So it won't be a direct bolt onto the frame.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I saw that and I thought, oh, I wonder what the carbon kids are going to be using. How have people taken to the new series stuff so far?
Currently haven't really got much feedback, but from the people that we have got feedback, everybody loves the new series.
So is the machine shop specifically for BMX products?
Starting out, was kind of a job shop and BMX, just as BMX parts to kind of start up the shop, but slowly we backed away from job shop, and now it's currently only BMX parts production.
So it's pretty crazy to think that the market's still big enough these days to be able to crank out just BMX products and still be able to succeed. What's the most popular product you have?
I would definitely say our M4 crank arms. We're still trying to catch up on the demand for that. We run them every day, 24/7, as much as possible, and we still can't keep up with it.
Wow. Um,
Yeah,
so what's the most popular size in those cranks?
I would say kind of varies. It's not like a range. I would say 160s, 155s, 150s, and then like 130, 135s, 125s. Um, somewhere in that range. And then the colors are a big, huge demand for those.
You had to stop doing a bit of color during the COVID shutdowns and everything, didn't you? It was only pretty much black that was available.
Yeah, it was such a huge demand, and we couldn't keep up with it, so we kind of just brought down to black only, so we can at least get them out there as much as possible. And we weren't really producing enough at the time to do color and black.
How hard was it for you to actually do manufacturing during that period?
It actually wasn't that hard at all. I mean, there were still employees coming in. We put on the masks and we kept it clean as much as possible. I would say the only thing that we really stepped on our game was making sure everything was clean and whatnot, um, and wearing our mask. But it wasn't a big deal at all, actually.
Oh, nice. Um, so I'm a big fan of the fat mouth stem. Are they still a popular stem? I did notice there were quite a few people rolling them out at one stage. I haven't seen or heard much of them since. Are they still a popular stem from your lineup?
We get a lot of people asking for them, and we haven't produced another batch yet, but we're really trying to get to them currently. I think our next batch that we're making right now is the disc brake adapters, and then right after, but before that, we were making a tons of fat mouse and stuff, but there's such a big demand for them. It's still can't keep up with them. I mean, I run them myself, and I love them.
So if you run them, what would you say was the difference between, say, running a fat mouth stem and running an oversized setup? I know a lot of people are kind of caught up in the whole marketing of the oversized 31.8, I think it is, diameter handlebar with the oversized stem clamp. I mean, I've sold on the fat mouth because it's wider, it's got more bite, it has that motocross style clamping system, and those
Yeah.
things never let go. But what would you say would be the advantage of that over running the oversized system?
Well, me personally, I've never ran the oversized. I've always ran the normal inch diameter. Um, so I can't really answer that question from a personal standpoint, but I definitely like from hearing from other people's comments and looking at it's definitely a lot more rigid to the side to side motion and out of the gate. Um, maybe more or if not the same. Just keep kind of competes with it.
So, what other products are you going to be making for the older racers? As far as your fat mouth, is there going to be cranks or anything like that coming out in the near future?
We are definitely working on a few new designs of stems and crank arms, and then of course the pro chain tensioners. Um, and then we're working on a frame currently.
All right.
Yeah, for I think it's a micro frame or mini. Um, and we're gonna sell. We're gonna do the full thing, the wheels and hubs and everything.
Would they be made in house at your frames?
Yes, I believe so. I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure.
So, is there much machining on those frames, or is it just a standard kind of frame you'd expect
We're
off
gonna
the shelf?
machine almost everything that we can on that thing. The dropouts. I'm trying to think right now. Probably the head tube area. I mean, everything that needs to be welded will be welded, but everything else that'll be connected to it will be CNC.
So have you had a lot of involvement in the design of that?
I actually personally haven't. That's kind of been all Casey. I've been kind of working on just production as much as possible. Um, but yeah, I would say that's mostly Casey.
So do you look at it and think, oh, all we have to do is change a couple of things and I can have a new frame for yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Just change a few dimensions. I could probably run it myself. That'd be rad.
So if people keep an eye on you, they might see you on top of a calculated frame sometime soon.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
100%.
Um, so I think we've spoken about a fair bit of the product, but with your disc brake adapters, they're fairly generic, or do you have specific adapters for specific frame setups?
They're supposed to be pretty generic. They fit on anything, any frame as much as possible. But they're supposed to be quite wide range. So
And do they have different axle options?
currently not the ones we currently have right now, but we definitely do plan on making the 10, 15, and 20 in the
Oh,
future.
yeah, yeah. One thing I've heard a lot of people ask about is the disc brake post adaptation kit. Do you sell a lot of those?
Say that again.
So you've got the the removable posts off the frames. You've got the bolt-in. I'm not sure what you call them on your store. You've got the bolt-in cable routing.
Oh, the cable clamps.
No, cable clamps. That's it. Do you
Yeah,
sell a lot of those?
we do actually. We just made a huge batch. I think it was 400 of them, and we just sent them out to anodize, and they should be coming back soon as they get back there. Right on the website. But yeah, we sell a lot of those.
So I did notice there's people from Australia hunting those sorts of things down, and I did also see that on your website you weren't shipping out to Australia. Is that going to happen anytime soon?
Yeah. Currently, it seemed like the issue was I think it was UPS or USPS that wasn't allowing us to ship to Australia for a good minute, but I think they released that, so we should be allowed to currently.
I should look that up and
It
let
was
people
kind of
know.
weird. It was like in the middle of November. Like we had somebody order, and we went to go like uh you know package it up and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, we're not shipping to Australia right now. And it was super weird. There wasn't even given a reason or anything. It's like they shut down out of the blue, and so we had to refund the order. It kind of sucked, but I think we just sent out an order to Australia not too long ago,
Oh,
so
okay.
it should be working now. I think they're allowing it now,
Awesome. I'll let people look that up. And if
or
people
maybe
ask me,
it's UPS doing it now. Maybe not
oh, okay.
USPS.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. If people wanted to look up calculated, where's the best places for them to sort of hunt you guys down and contact you?
We have Facebook, I believe it's Calculated Racing, and then we have Calculated R Series, and then Instagram is Calculated R Series and also Calculated Racing. And then, of course, our website, which I think is calculatedracing.com.
All right. Thanks very much for that, Ethan.
Yeah,